My name is Hazel. I am 25 years old, and I live in a small but busy city. The streets are always full of people, and there are many shops and cafes everywhere. I enjoy walking around, sipping coffee, and watching the world go by. Life in the city feels exciting, but a few years ago, my life was very different. Back then, I had one big question that kept me awake at night. What should I do with my future? I didn't know what career to choose. I felt lost and confused. Everyone around me seemed to have a plan. My friends talked about their dreams of becoming doctors, engineers, or teachers. They knew exactly what they wanted. Meanwhile, I had no idea. I liked many things, reading books, drawing pictures, and helping people, but I didn't know which one could become a career. When I was in high school, teachers often asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I always gave vague answers like, "I'm still thinking about it." Some people told me I had plenty of time to decide. Others said I needed to figure it out quickly. The pressure built up as I got older. By the time I graduated, my confusion turned into fear. What if I made the wrong choice? What if I regretted it forever? At home, my parents tried to reassure me. "Hazel," they said, "don't worry. You're young and you'll find your way." Their words were kind, but they didn't erase my doubts. I felt like I was running out of time. My classmates were moving forward, applying to universities and starting internships. I felt like I was being left behind. One evening, I sat in my room with a notebook on my lap. I wanted to write down some ideas about my future, but my mind felt blank. Instead of feeling inspired, I felt overwhelmed. Questions kept spinning in my head. What if I choose the wrong career? What if I fail? What if I'm not good at anything? I looked around my room, hoping to find some inspiration. The walls were decorated with posters of beautiful landscapes and motivational quotes. One of them said, "Follow your dreams." Another said, "Believe in yourself." But at that moment, those words felt empty. I didn't know what my dream was, and I didn't believe in myself. I closed the notebook and sighed. I can't figure this out on my own, I thought. That's when I decided to talk to someone I trusted. I needed advice from someone who could understand my feelings and help me make sense of my confusion. Little did I know, that conversation would change everything. At the peak of my confusion, I realized I couldn't figure things out on my own. I needed advice from someone who understood me and wouldn't judge me for feeling lost. That's when I thought of my sister, Emily. She's 5 years older than me and has always been my go-to person for advice. Emily is one of those people who seems to have everything figured out. She's a graphic designer with a job she loves, and she always carries herself with confidence. I thought, if anyone can help me, it's her. One evening I found Emily sitting on the couch with her sketchbook, working on one of her designs. I hesitated for a moment but finally blurted out, "Emily, I'm stuck. I don't know what I want to do with my life." She put down her pencil and looked at me with a reassuring smile. "Hazel, it's okay. Lots of people feel this way, especially when they're figuring out their careers. Let's talk about it." Her calm response instantly made me feel a little better. She asked, "What do you enjoy doing the most? What makes you happy?" I thought for a moment before answering. "I love reading and writing stories. Whenever I write, I feel like I'm in my own little world and it makes me happy." "That's great," Emily said, her eyes lighting up. "Now, think about your strengths. What are you naturally good at?" This question was harder for me to answer. I don't know, I admitted. Maybe explaining things? My teachers always said I was good at writing essays and breaking down ideas. Emily nodded thoughtfully. That's a wonderful combination. Passion for writing and the skill of explaining ideas. There are so many careers where you can use those talents. Have you ever thought about being a journalist, a content writer, or even an author? Her words sparked something in me. I had always thought of writing as just a hobby, something I did to pass the time, but now, for the first time, I wondered if it could be more than that. Do you really think I could turn writing into a career? I asked cautiously. Of course, Emily said without hesitation. You don't have to know everything right now. Careers aren't built in a day. But if writing makes you happy, start exploring it. Take small steps and see where it leads. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about our conversation. Emily's encouragement gave me hope. I sat down at my desk and started researching careers in writing. The possibilities seemed endless. Copywriting, blogging, journalism, editing. The more I read, the more excited I became. But mixed in with my excitement was fear. What if I'm not good enough? What if no one likes my work? These thoughts crept in and made me doubt myself. Still, Emily's words echoed in my mind. Take small steps. I decided to give myself a chance. The next morning, I woke up with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. I kept thinking about what Emily had said. Take small steps. All right, I told myself. Let's start somewhere. I decided to put my love for writing into action. That day, I sat at my desk, opened my notebook, and began writing a short story. The words didn't flow easily at first. I hesitated, erased sentences, and doubted myself with every line. But as I kept going, the story began to take shape. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. Once I finished, I took a deep breath and decided to share it with a few close friends. Hitting the send button on the email made my heart race. What if they hate it? I thought. But to my surprise, their feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Hazel, this is so creative, one friend said. Another added, you have a real talent for storytelling, keep it up. Their encouragement gave me the confidence to keep going. Over the next few weeks, I started writing regularly. I also created a blog to share my thoughts and stories with a wider audience. At first, it felt intimidating to put my work out there for strangers to read, but I reminded myself that every writer starts somewhere. As I poured more time into my writing, I realized how much I enjoyed it. But I also knew that passion wasn't enough. I needed to improve my skills. I began reading books about writing and watching online workshops where authors shared their experiences. I practiced writing in different styles and experimented with new ideas. Each step, no matter how small, brought me closer to my goal. One day, while scrolling through job boards, I saw an internship posting for a content writer at a local company. My heart skipped a beat. This could be my chance to turn my passion into something real. But then the doubts crept in. What if I'm not qualified? What if they reject me? I almost closed the page, but Emily's voice echoed in my mind. Take small steps. Gathering my courage, I updated my resume and sent in my application. To my surprise, I received a call for an interview a few days later. I was excited but terrified. I practiced answering potential questions, rehearsed how I would explain my love for writing, and even prepared a few samples of my blog posts to showcase my work. On the day of the interview, I walked into the office with shaky hands, but a determined heart. The interviewers asked me about my passion for writing and my goals. I spoke honestly, sharing my journey and how much I wanted to grow as a writer. When they asked about my experience, I showed them my blog and the stories I had written. A week later, I got the call. I had been selected for the internship. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was finally taking a real step toward my dream. During the internship, I learned so much. I wrote articles, created content for social media, and collaborated with experienced writers who gave me valuable feedback. At first, I made mistakes, but every mistake taught me something new. Slowly, I started to feel more confident in my abilities. By the end of the internship, I realized that writing wasn't just a hobby, it was something I could do professionally. This experience showed me that I was capable of more than I had ever believed. Today, I work as a content writer for a company that values creativity and storytelling. My days are filled with writing articles, blogs, and stories that reach people all over the world. Every time I hit publish on a piece, I feel a sense of accomplishment that reminds me how far I've come. But let me tell you this, the journey wasn't always easy. After my internship ended, I faced challenges. Finding a full-time job wasn't simple, and rejection emails made me question if I was good enough. There were days when I felt stuck, wondering if I had made the right decision to pursue writing. But each time I felt doubt creeping in, I reminded myself of why I started. I spent those in-between months improving my portfolio. I wrote guest articles for online platforms, continued blogging, and took on freelance projects to build my experience. Little by little, I noticed my skills improving, and so did my confidence. One day, I received an email from a company looking for a full-time content writer. They had come across my work online and wanted to interview me. The interview felt like a culmination of everything I had worked for. I spoke about my passion for writing, my journey of self-discovery, and the skills I had honed over time. When I received the offer, I knew it was the start of something new. Now, when I look back, I see how every step brought me closer to this moment, from the nights of doubt in my room to the courage it took to share my stories. Every decision shaped me into the person I am today. Writing has become more than just a job. It's a way for me to express myself, connect with others, and continuously grow. What I've learned through this journey is something I want to share with anyone who feels lost like I once did. It's okay to not have all the answers right away. Choosing a career is a process, not a single decision. It's about discovering what makes you happy, taking small steps toward it, and being open to learning along the way. I'm also grateful for the people who believed in me, my sister Emily, my friends, and the mentors who guided me. Their encouragement reminded me that I didn't have to figure everything out alone. As I write this story, I'm filled with gratitude and hope. This isn't the end of my journey. It's just the beginning. I know there are more challenges ahead, but I also know that I have the resilience to face them. Every word I write is a reminder that I turned my passion into a career, and that's something no one can take away from me. To anyone reading this who is struggling with finding their path, I want you to know that it's possible. Start small, ask for help, and trust yourself. You are capable of more than you think. If Hazel's journey inspired you, now it's your turn to take the first step toward your dreams. What are you passionate about? What's holding you back? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay motivated with more stories like this. Together, we can inspire each other to dream big and take action. Your journey starts today.